Welcome back. I'm Ashley Nicoletta, and this is GoGo 101. So episode 2 is going to be all about auditioning. August is auditioning, so the first week is going to be about finding the gigs. Where do you even look? Where do you get started? Well, I'm a firm believer that you have to create your own opportunities. And there's a few different ways you can do it by looking online and in your local area. So first things first, we need to set you up with a profile. Now, the internet is a great resource for helping people stay connected, marketing, and advertisement. So utilize that free resource. So before I break down how each social media app actually works and can work for you, there's a few things that you need to do on your own profiles and your own settings that will help you get ahead. Keep your biography clean and factual. Make sure that everything's organized and that you don't have a bunch of unnecessary content on your About Me, your albums, or even on your feed. Make sure that if you're going to be a professional go-go dancer, that you actually have a separate account just for you. Keep this separate from your personal account. Now, you're going to want to do that because it's a more professional approach, and if you want to be taken seriously as a dancer, then it's these small little details that really help. A client might come to your page and they want to see what you're all about and how you perform and how you dress and how you look. They don't necessarily care about how cute your dog is. Even though your dog is absolutely adorable, the client really doesn't care. No offense, it's not personal. Make sure that you plainly list how to get in contact with you. I mean, by your other social media accounts or your email, your direct performer email. Make sure this isn't something that you created when you were a kid and, it's a little Italian Rose and, AOL isn't even a thing anymore. Make sure it's a current search email engine and that you have your performer name or the name that you want to go by as the main email on your contact sources of your social media. This only makes it easier for booking clients to find you and contact you quicker to give you gigs. Now, I wouldn't necessarily include your personal phone number. You can if you want to. I've not had any good experience with it in the past. I've gotten some weird phone calls, and after a while, I just felt that email was the most professional and widely accepted form of communication. And the last tip I have for you about your social media profiles is to give credits to everybody when they're due. If you work at a venue, make sure you give that venue credit. If you work with a photographer, give that photographer credit. If somebody did your hair or makeup, again, give them credit. If they did your costume, give them credit. I cannot stress this enough, that it's so important. You collaborated on somebody or with somebody to actually make an outfit or a look or something happen, and you did it together jointly. So just as they should give you credit for being the one that was there to dance or perform for them, then you also need to give them credit. It's just proper protocol and respectful in the industry, to be honest. Make sure that even if you don't work with that person anymore, you still give them credit. This is not a place that you want to start any kind of conflict because you didn't give credits. Not giving credits is a really big no-no in the scene, and that's something that you just need to get in the habit of from the very get-go, so that it's just second nature to just list everything. The venue, the photographer, the hair, makeup, and costume, the booking company, whoever it may be for whatever event or venue. It's just proper protocol. But what's in a name? It's best to be taken serious as a performer that you have a performer name. This doesn't necessarily mean that you can't use your first and last name, but primarily there will be a stage name where you're known as in the scene other than your actual name. Now, not to say that you won't have to put your legal name on your taxes and different forms you might have to sign for independent gigs and venues. We'll touch on that way later, but you'll have to use your name then, but there may be a time when you have to actually use a stage name, and honestly, it's safer that way. If somebody knows you by, Butterfly Susan, then they're going to contact you as Butterfly Susan, and you play this persona. So that doesn't necessarily mean Susan that you went to high school with. It just means that now you've taken on another professional identity, and you need to be able to be contacted under that identity and addressed as that identity, so that your personal identity is still kept anonymous, and you don't have any kind of classic entertainment instances of stalking or somebody harassing you online, or worse. I've never had any of these things happen to me, but I've always used a stage name, so it's been much more difficult to find me by my actual name. Very few people actually know my real name, which is fine. They don't need to. Ashley Nicoletta is actually my legal first and middle name. I just don't put my last name in there. It's simple as that. Finding gigs on social media takes your own research and searching abilities, to be honest. You have to look in your area to see what's available. Facebook is a fantastic resource for finding people, events, groups, and basically what's happening in your own town. You can start by joining local groups in the electronic dance music scene, and in the Latin scene, and in the gay scene, and in the hip hop scene. Any kind of scene that you are particularly interested in, just search for nightclubs and festivals and venues in the area that are possibly having dancers already. I am in a bunch of Seattle groups that is all about the dance music and raving and nightlife and modeling. There's a ton of groups, so just search your city and then just type in modeling group or nightclub group or nightlife group. A lot of keywords are really helpful on Facebook, and these are the things that'll help you find the groups that you need to be a part of to find the gigs. A couple of tips for Facebook. Make sure that you're using proper grammar, at least on your fan page. I understand that social media uses shorthand, and that's fine. If you want to do that on your own personal page, knock your socks off. But on your fan page, you really want to stay professional and make sure that you use proper punctuation, you're polite, you're not rude or hateful. Even if somebody else is rude and hateful, don't be that person. Make sure that you're actually using proper grammar and not some form of shorthand or anything like that. This is not a place for you to be your own normal personality. This is for you to be your fun, excited, professional personality. So make sure that shines in your communication. Be clear, concise, factual, grammarful, and please use punctuality. So Instagram is amazing for hashtags. I cannot tell you how many wonderful performers I've found just by hashtagging things on Instagram. I go to my search bar and I just type in a hashtag that I would normally use, and thousands of people have tagged it, which is awesome. And it really helps me stay connected with the dancers around me. And honestly, I get so inspired by so many of them. They're so beautiful, and their costumes are just amazing and on point. I love seeing the different styles throughout the nation, and honestly, hashtags will be your best friend on Instagram. Other sources of finding gigs are Craigslist. You can look under the gigs section in your particular city. Indeed is really good. That also allows you to upload your own resume. I don't use Indeed as much as I would like to, but not to say that it couldn't work for you, so give it a try too. There's also Backstage, there's Band, and there is Maisie Williams, who was Arya Stark on Game of Thrones. She created an easy artist gig finder kind of app, which is kind of cool because she's trying to make a difference in getting booked. This is mainly for actors and singers, but not to say that dancers can't find gigs on there too, because it's really awesome. Her app is called Daisy with an IE at the end. So if we move over to the local aspect of how to find things, not necessarily online, there's a lot of different shops that you can stop by that people leave flyers at. For instance, coffee shops on their bulletin boards, or local colleges in the lunch area or common area. tattoo shops, sometimes car places even let people leave flyers, little boutique shops leave flyers. Sometimes you might have to put the pedal to the pavement, and you might actually have to go around and find your own gigs. Sometimes this means just going to an event or a nightclub or the theater or someplace like that has an event going on, and just get their entertainment manager's email. You don't have to bother anybody. You can just ask for an email from somebody who's at the main cashier desk or something like that, and generally they'll give you the email or the contact information. Most commonly they're going to give you a business card. So I wouldn't say to go out and just hand out your resume to everybody. It's not necessarily the best time or place to do that. You want to do most everything through email. And if somebody is in the swing of starting to open the nightclub and, they have customers and they have a billion other things that they're worrying about, putting your resume somewhere safe is not on their top priority list. So asking for their contact information is the best way to do it. No matter where you go when you're doing self-promotion and you have to go and either find gigs on flyers, or if you're going to a nightclub or a theater or an event or something, make sure to use the buddy system. I wouldn't normally tell you to bring somebody to a gig, but if you're looking for gigs and you need to have somebody that is by your side that you're not going to get in trouble with, you want to have somebody by your side who's going to help protect you in the case that they have to. Now, not to say that this is, a normal thing or, that this is going to happen to you, but we do live in a crazy world and you need to be protected no matter where you go. Plus, I definitely recommend that you wear something cute, something that is presentable but not too revealing. And you want to do a full face and hair, because if somebody's going to see you and you don't know how close that person is to the manager, if you walk in and you present yourself in a nice, clean, professional, and put together manner, they're more likely to give you a call when they get a response from you, because the person giving you the card could be, the manager's best friend. You don't know. So just present yourself in a very clean and professional manner whenever you're going out, and make sure that, when you do actually approach the manager, that if you brought somebody with you, that they kind of just hang back for a minute, and let you do your thing and let you talk to them. First, I just want to give a shout out to Pepper Banks, owner of the Vegas style Showgirls of Tampa. I worked with her company briefly when I was in Tampa, and it was so much fun. Their costumes are way over the top and they're really amazing. I'm going to put their contact information in the bio. Next, I want to give a big shout out to my girl Ellen. I see you, girl. You killing it on your show. Just letting all these awesome little kids and amazing grown-ups and everybody in between on. Oh, girl. You life goals, girl. I love you. All right, bye. Bye, Ellen. So it would really mean the most to me if you guys would subscribe, like, share with your GoGo gal pals, and let's be in the know together. Thank you so much, everyone. And as always, stay glamorous, girls.